Dear students, welcome back. Now we are going to discuss a poem from our literature book, the poem Amanda, written by Robin Klein. Let us start. Robin Klein, she is an Australian author. She is the author of books for children. She was born on 28 February 1936. Her notable works are Hating Alison Ashley, Halfway Across the Galaxy and Turn Left, Came Back to Show You I Could Fly. These are her notable works. Dear students, what do you feel when your parents point out your mistakes? What do you feel when your parent scolds you? What do you feel when your parent tries to control you? Every child feels that he or she is controlled and instructed not to do one thing or another. When your parent tries to control you, you may also feel that your freedom is limited. There may be a lot of things that you want to do, but your parents do not allow you to do these things. Children feel their parents don't let them do many things they want to do. In the poem, there is a girl named Amanda who feels her mother nags her too much. She feels her mother harasses her too much. The mother scolds Amanda for biting her nails, hunching her shoulders, and not sitting straight. Amanda does not like it.
Amanda. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There's a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I'm an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? I am Rapunzel, I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda.
Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Here, mother says to the child, don't bite your nails. Stop biting your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders means don't bend your shoulders. Mother says to Amanda, don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't bend your shoulders, Amanda. It is not good. Don't do it. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. Next command. Stop that slouching. Slouching means sitting in a lazy way. Stop that slouching, Amanda. Don't sit in a lazy way. And sit up straight. These all are the commands of the mother. Don't bite your nails. Don't bend your shoulders. Don't sit in a lazy way. You should sit up straight. Amanda. Mother gives these commands to the girl, Amanda. And Amanda is in her own world. She has her own fantasies. She is in her own world. Let us see what she thinks. Her response is given in brackets. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Mother is scolding her. for biting nails, for bending her shoulders, for sitting lazily. But the child is in her own world. She imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. She wants to live inside a deep green sea. She says that she wants to be the only resident of this beautiful green sea. She imagines herself like a mermaid who is alone there and leads her life in a very relaxing way. That means the child feels that she has no freedom. She is always blamed. So she wants to be alone. So she says that she wants to be carried away by the current of water and feel the relaxing environment there. She wants to be a mermaid in the green sea, and she wants to live a calm and quiet life without any disturbance, with the full freedom. This is the meaning of this first part. So let us recap once again. Amanda is a little girl. Her mother always calls her for mistakes, for bending her shoulders, for sitting lazily, and for biting her nails. But the child is in her own world. She wants to live inside the deep sea like a mermaid. Look at the next line. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Now the speaker asks some questions, familiar questions. She asked her, mother is inquiring her about whether she has done her homework or not. A familiar question. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Then she asks whether she has cleaned her room or not. Did you tidy your room, Amanda? Two questions by the speaker. Did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your room? Then she asked, I already reminded you. I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I have given a task to you. I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Mother asks, did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your room? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So here we can see that the mother is constantly asking her questions regarding her homework being done or not, whether she had cleaned up her room and shoes or not. The child, on the other hand, while she is listening to her mother's instructions, she imagines herself to be an orphan who is roaming in the streets, because an orphan has freedom. She thinks like that. She can walk freely in the streets. I am an orphan roaming in the street. That is better. I am an orphan roaming in the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Pattern means to make a pattern. Hushed means quiet and still. This means she imagines if she would have been without parents, she would have walked freely in the streets. If she is an orphan, she can walk freely in the streets. And she would have drawn designs, patterns on the soft dust with her uncovered feet very quietly. She can walk freely in the street if she is an orphan. If she is an orphan, she can walk freely in the street. She can make patterns. She can make patterns on the soft dust with her feet. This is the imagination of the child. She would have drawn designs on the soft dust with uncovered feet very quietly. So we can see that she thinks opposite to her mother. Her mother wants to keep everything neat and clean. But the girl wants to play in dust with her bare feet. And she is fed up with these constant instructions from mother. Mother always calls her, gives instructions. So we can see that she thinks opposite to her mother. Her mother wants to keep everything neat and clean, but Amanda wants to play in dust with her bare feet. Just opposite. And mother always calls her. Mother always gives instructions, and she is fed up with these constant instructions from mother. She doesn't like it. So she says that silence is golden, which means silence is good. Silence is golden. Silence is precious. She doesn't like this type of instructions from mother. And she says that freedom is sweet. She wants freedom. She wants freedom. She never feels free when she is with her mother. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Mother is not allowing her to eat that chocolate. Amanda's mother is disallowing her to eat chocolate. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Again, mother comes with instructions, do's and don'ts. Remember your acne, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Amanda's mother is disallowing her to eat chocolate. She reminds her of pimples that Amanda faces due to eating chocolates. Don't eat that chocolate. Remember your acne. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? The girl is not paying attention to her mother. So the mother asks, will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? When I am speaking to you, please look at me. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? Now what the girl does, she imagines herself to be Rapunzel. You know Rapunzel, a girl in the fairy tale. She imagines herself to be Rapunzel. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Rapunzel was a character from a fairy tale that was captured in a tower by a witch. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. I am Rapunzel. You know who is Rapunzel? Rapunzel was a character from a fairy tale that was captured in a tower by a witch. And the witch used to climb the tower with the help of long hair of Rapunzel that were let down by her through the window. This story I think you know. Now Amanda wants to be Rapunzel because she thinks that living in such a tower is good, better than this, because it will be peaceful. She thinks that she will be free and she can live in a peaceful environment in the tower. Life in the tower will be peaceful. Life in tower is tranquil. Tranquil means calm and quiet and rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So Amanda wants to be Rapunzel because she feels that in the tower she will be peaceful. And she thinks that she will be free in the tower. And she takes a decision. She will never let her hair down so that nobody could come to her tower. She will never let her hair down. She will live peacefully alone in the tower. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. She imagines when the mother scolds, when the mother gives her instructions, girl is in her own world and she imagines some other things. Stop sulking at once, Amanda. Sulking means be in a bad mood. Mother again warns the child for misbehaving. The child is behaving in a very odd manner. So mother says, stop sulking. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. Stop it. Don't be in a bad mood. You are always so moody. Moody means unstable. She asks her to stop being in a bad mood and she blames her of having such an unstable mood. You are always so moody, Amanda. Always. You are so moody, unstable. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. And mother says that anyone would think that she nagged at her. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. She scolds her by saying that her behavior will one day make people think that Amanda was constantly being harassed by her mother. People may think like that Amanda is constantly being harassed by her mother. At this point, the child is not reacting. She is not reacting. You can see no reaction is given. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. Mother says like that. And the child is not reacting. Now the child has even stopped to imagine herself as someone else. Here, the poet has not written any reaction from Amanda's side. So, we can guess that she has even stopped to imagine herself as someone else because of constant scolding. Now let us discuss some of the literary devices used in the poem. Look at these lines. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. We can see that don't bite and don't hunch, repeated use of a word at the start of two or more lines. The literary device used here is anaphora. Anaphora is repeated use of a word at the beginning of two or more lines. Now the poetess has used metaphor also in these lines. You can see there is a languid emerald sea. Emerald sea. It is used to show the green color of sea. Use it to compare the green color of sea. So the poet has used emerald to show the color of the sea, and the literary device used here is metaphor. Students, please listen. If you analyze these lines, you can see the word Amanda is repeated 3 times. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Repetition. This is known as repetition. The literary device used here is repetition. Now look at the line. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. The consonant sound is repeated. It is known as alliteration. Stop slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. The literary device used here is alliteration, repeating consonant sounds. Look at the lines. The rhyme scheme is B, C, C, C. That is the rhyme scheme. B, C, C, C. Again, the poetess has used a metaphor. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. The literary device is metaphor. Again, you can see, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? Amanda, the word Amanda is repeated 3 times. Again, repetition. And you can see that I am Rapunzel. It is known as allusion. Use of famous fairy tale character. Poet used a fairy tale character, Rapunzel, here. So that is known as allusion. Again, did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your room? The lines start with the did you. Did you finish? Did you tidy? Again, anaphora is used. I thought I told you to clean your shoes. Again, assonance. The vowel O is repeated. Thought, told, you, your shoes. It is known as assonance. This is the theme of the poem. I think you got a clear idea about the theme of the poem. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Amanda. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There's a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I'm an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? I am Rapunzel, I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. A poem written by Robert Klein.